Bueno, muy buenas tardes para todas las personas que se van conectando. Sean bienvenidos a este espacio, la clase abierta que tenemos programada para el día de hoy. Es una clase abierta que está programada para que se realice en inglés, pero vamos a realizar una pequeña introducción en español al inicio. ¿Listo? Entonces, primero darles la bienvenida y contarles que esto hace parte del ciclo de charlas gratuitas ofrecidas por la Dirección de Educación Continua de la Universidad de los Andes en conjunto con diferentes facultades de la universidad. En esta ocasión estamos en conjunto con la Facultad de Ingeniería. Con este espacio buscamos ofrecerles nuevas alternativas para que continúen aprendiendo en cualquier momento de su vida. Bueno, y antes de iniciar queremos contarles que tenemos un curso sobre esta temática y a través del chat les estaremos compartiendo el link para que puedan conocer más información sobre este curso y se puedan inscribir. En este momento tenemos algunos asesores disponibles por si quieren conocer más información de este curso, nos dejen sus datos y pues se inscriban. Bueno, y sin más preámbulo, le damos inicio a la clase del día de hoy. Para eso nos está acompañando Paula de la Facultad de Ingeniería y pues te doy la palabra.
Muchas gracias. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the webinar Entrepreneurship, Making Mission and Vision a Reality. My name is Paula Gomez, and I'm going to be the moderator of this event. I'm also the graduate assistant for the leadership program here at UNIANDES. I will leave my contact information on the chat so you can reach me at any time so I can answer any questions that you have. First of all, I would like to remind you that this event is sponsored by the Innovative Product Development course, which is part of the agenda of the UNIANDES International Summer School. At the end of the webinar, we will expand the information about the 3 different options that we have for you guys this year, 2 virtual and 1 face-to-face in California. We will explain the topics, cost, and other specifications. So we invite you to stay with us until the end so we can solve all your doubts. Without further preamble, welcome Kelly and Marty. Please, Kelly, go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here and to welcome you to this very exciting webinar and information session. Marty?
Good afternoon, and I'm very glad to be here with all of you once again.
Before, as we get started, what I'd like to do is to share a brief video with you of David Ochi, one of the lead instructors, along with Marty Wartenberg on this event. Let me share this video. Here we go. Can everybody see this?
Yes, we can see it, but we don't have audio.
Paula?
Yes, Kelly, do you hear me?
Yes, can they hear?
No, we are able to see your screen, but we are not hearing anything.
Okay.
So you have to share the screen with the audio.
Oh, technicalities. All righty. Try this again. Yes?
No. When you share screen, Kelly, you have to hit the little buttons that tell you that to activate the sound.
Where am I?
When you go to share screen,
Yeah, I'm there.
those two little buttons at the bottom will let you share.
I'm there. Why is it not letting me? Pause share. Okay. Marty,
Yeah,
say that again.
okay, wait. Let me have the screen again. Give it to me.
All right, let me make you, Paula, can we make him host, co-host?
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, go ahead now. Take it back and it should work now.
Okay. No?
No,
No, let me share the screen.
at the bottom of share screen,
Yeah.
there.
Very honored to be here with you, floating a little bit, if you will, as we get the opportunity to chat briefly with you about entrepreneurship. I wish I could make the event today, but unfortunately, I've had a unexpected schedule conflict come up that I can't work my way out of. But I wanted to take just a couple of minutes and to introduce myself and to talk briefly about this fun topic of entrepreneurship and helping to take a mission and a vision and turn it into some sort of reality. So again, my name is David Ochi. I'm the executive director of the Innovation Incubator here at Cal State Dominguez Hills in sunny Southern California. And I just wanted to take a quick minute. You're going to have a whole bunch of other great content coming from Kelly and from Marty regarding this, but I wanted to take a quick moment and just give you a few thoughts about this idea of taking a mission and a vision and really turning it into something. And these are very high level, but the program is designed to also help you dig into this sort of thing that we're going to be talking about. But let me give you just a very rough idea. So I really do feel like I'm floating in the clouds now. One of the great things about entrepreneurship really is the opportunity to take something that's in your head, a vision, a direction that you're considering, and saying, I can actually do something with this. I can turn it into a reality. And it's an opportunity that necessarily get when they take on a standard job of some sort. So here's just a few quick tips for that sort of approach. One thing is most people have these grand visions that are huge, and I love that. And then what they do is they kind of look around and they say, gosh, but that's going to be tough to do. And we say, nope, it's very simple if you break it down into intermediate steps and you really break it down into starting small. People tend to want to grow big. My recommendation, find a way to dream big and have those big aspirations, and then come all the way back from that point where you're going to be 10, 20, 30 years from now and say, what does today look like? And how do I make tomorrow closer to that goal, whatever it is? None of these big companies you've seen or anything start off massive. They start off small, and frequently they start off completely unrelated in many ways to what we think of them as today. A great example is Nike. They didn't start off making a brand that was going to conquer the world of athletics. They instead started off selling other people's shoes. Well, that's the start. It got them up and running, and they were able to move forward. So dream big, but focus on a way to start small. Another great thing is a lot of people, when they have these big visions and everything, they think, gosh, I'm going to go conquer the world, and that's wonderful. But one of the keys to really being successful is to not just chase your passion or whatever that might be, because passions can be very finicky, and they're frankly, frequently they're hobbies, right? But if you chase opportunities, that's where the real gold is, right? When you go and you find something, you say, whatever this is an opportunity that's being presented to me. I need to chase that. Bring your passion with you. You'll find it to be a much easier route to take. And of course, a lot of people come in with their vision and they go down and this is what they want and that's where they want to go. Great, except the market is much bigger than you are. And so when you look at what they're doing, you say, let me go listen to the people that I'm going to be selling to, that my vendors, who are my customers going to be, who are my employees, my contractors going to be, who are these people and how can we actually make this valuable for them? That's chasing the opportunity, is bringing value to the market. And when you do that, your vision of what you're doing will truly be able to come into play. And of course, one of the things in academics we love to do is to write plans and do all this sort of stuff. And you should. The act of planning is an important process to go through. But understand that plans almost always fall apart once they engage in the real world. So plan constantly, always be thinking about what you're trying to do, but don't get stuck in it. Favor action. Favor that, well, we don't know everything yet, but we're on our way. Let's walk down this path. It's more important to be moving down the path than it is to be planning it properly. One thing that frequently happens is you have this great grand vision in your head, and then you realize, wait a minute, how am I supposed to do this? And you realize that I is not the issue. It's a we issue. How can we move down this path? Understand that you're not alone. And so don't act as if you are. You've got an entire ecosystem. You have cohorts to work with. You have professors. You have family. You have friends. You have the ecosystem around you that's designed to help. And the amazing thing about today's world is that ecosystem isn't just that small group in your local neighborhood anymore. The whole world is your ecosystem. So you have virtually unlimited access to people and talent all over the world. Take advantage of that. Don't do this alone. Find that vision, convince somebody to be your first follower, and continue working with that person, edify them to make them a great leader in and amongst themselves, and help to grow a movement that can really be valuable for you. And of course, as much as we love to have the end result, enjoy where you are and what you're doing along the way, because the journey is what matters. And, I look at this picture in the background here. That moment of standing on top is something you won't forget. But I guarantee you almost all the stories of that person standing on a mountain are not going to be that moment. It's going to be the journey up, and it's going to be the journey down the mountain that they're going to talk about. The base camp thing, the wind that hit them when they were on their way up, a landslide they hit, whatever it is. Those are the stories along the journey that are really going to make the difference. Do that. Enjoy the struggles and the wins along the way as you achieve whatever this vision or opportunity that you're trying to chase is. And of course, whatever you do along the way, be of good character, do good work, do it on time, and be pleasant to work with. So if you do these things, if you dream big and start small, you chase opportunity and not the passions that you might have, but really focus on the opportunities that are out there. Watch and listen to what the market's asking for and adjust to it. Plan constantly, but favor being active and engaging and moving forward. Don't do it alone. Avoid that mindset of I have to do this. Think of it, how can I build a team for us to go accomplish this so that we can all savor this journey of wherever we're trying to go. And as long as you hold to that character of doing good work and doing it on time and being pleasant to work with, you will find that you are going in a wonderful direction. So I apologize that I cannot be with you at this event today, but I want to let you know that I am excited about the program. It is a program that we've done several times, and it gets better and better each year. Development of product. We have a great lineup with design thinking and all sorts of stuff about the business model canvas and leadership and financing, innovation and marketing and creativity. There's a lot of great programming around it, and I really encourage you to consider this as a fun opportunity for the program. If you need to get in contact with me, I would love to hear from you. My contact information is listed on the screen. You can use the QR code to connect with me on LinkedIn. Thank you for everything you're doing. Thank you for being a part of this. And I look forward to seeing all of you in our next opportunity to get together. Thank you.
Oh, good to see David.
Yes, thank you. And now let me share this. Now, can everyone see the PowerPoint?
Yep.
Good. At least I could do that right. All righty, here we go. You all just met David Ochi. David and Marty Wartenberg are the lead instructors in this program and have worked on this program for several years now. They're actually a very, very great team. Marty, would you like to give a little background about yourself?
Yeah, hi. My background is electrical engineering and biotech engineering. I've been working as you can see, I've been around a lot longer than David or Kelly. I've been doing this for close to 65 years. And I personally think entrepreneurship is way better than working for anybody else. I've worked in big companies, small companies, and I've started my own companies. And one of the things David said is the opportunity to be your own boss, whether it's internally or externally, is a great thing. So I spent most of my time working in research and development on medical devices, invasive medical devices in the cardiovascular area, things that go into your heart to keep you living. And lately I've been working on application of machine learning and artificial intelligence through robotic spinal cord surgery. So again, I've spent most of my life developing products for various industries, oil field instrumentation, aerospace, and for the last 15 years, medical devices. So as David said, you don't have to be passionate. I'm passionate about my product because I'm a user of many of the products that I have to work on. So I believe in passion. And I work on things that I really love to do. And if I don't really love it, I'm not going to work on it. So again, it's a choice we all make. Chase what you love or just chase what can make you money. Okay. One of the things that is the acceleration of things. In just the last few years, for example, artificial intelligence, which includes predictive analytics and machine learning, have accelerated our ability to manipulate the world around us. This chart kind of shows that it took to reach 50 million users. It took the old telephone 75 years. And today, a simple app, some draw things and space birds, and it reached 50 million in just a matter of days. We have something that I don't know if it's come out yet in in Colombia, but we have something called Chat GPT that just hit the market maybe 3 weeks ago. It's and our student population, it's already hit 25 million users in less than 20 days. And it'll hit the 50 million in probably another 2 or 3 days. So again, the acceleration is accelerating at a very rapid speed and a very rapid acceleration. Go to the next one, Kelly. So who is an entrepreneur? Lots of pictures, everybody's famous. We have, Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg and the guy that started Dell and the guy that started Virgin Space. And we have Elon Musk with all of his wonderful things. These are the people that make the headlines. The real entrepreneurs are regular people just like you and me. And we don't make the billions. I know David said, think big, but start small. Well, they all started small. And the guy that started Dell, he was repairing computers in his dorm room while he was going to college to help pay his tuition. And, most of these people started out small and their dreams grew them very big. We don't expect all of us to do that, but you can make a pretty decent living and have a pretty good life with a lot of small innovations. So let's go look at more realistic people. Here in the United States, we are fortunate. Most of our new startups have been started by women entrepreneurs. In fact, I think it's reached almost 2/3 of our startups. And these are basically women who have seen a problem. And this is one of the things I want to emphasize, and we emphasize it in our program. The way you come up with a new product or a new idea for a service is you look for problems. And if you can come up with a solution to something that bothers you, that's a problem for you, whether it be in transportation, in going to a restaurant, finding the directions, whatever they happen to be. And if you come up with a solution to that problem, you have a pretty good chance of making some money on it, starting your business. And you can have 2 or 3. The app business is growing rapidly, and it doesn't seem like there's any end to the problems people have that can be solved. In the United States, a large portion of our new business are started up by Hispanic women and Black women, African-American women. And so again, this is the growth that we're seeing in our country in new business startups, is mainly women who see problems, especially women with children who see problems and come up with solutions and then market their solutions and make a pretty decent living. Again, all of these started, I think, David mentioned Nike was started as a basic shoe distributor. Again, and Dell was just a way of paying his bills when he was going to college. So, again, I remember when Amazon started, it advertised itself as the biggest bookstore in the country. And that basically is all they'd sold was books. And now you could buy anything, including cars, on Amazon. So again, we all start with humble beginnings, and we hope we grow into one of these gigantic monster success stories. But even if you don't, small successes, continual small successes will let you live a pretty good life as an entrepreneur. Next one. Again, all of these are examples of big companies that were actually started in college dorms or in garages. Here in the United States, we don't use our garages for putting our cars. We use our garages to help start businesses. But these are students who were undergrads, and they actually started their business while they were in school. Bill Gates and Paul Allen. Bill Gates actually dropped out of Harvard. he felt he wasn't learning enough, and he made enough money starting Microsoft that he didn't need to finish his degree. I don't think he's ever finished it. He's talked about going back to school, but he hasn't done that. So let's go to the next one, Kel. This is a key thing. It's good to dream, but you know you're an entrepreneur when you take that dream. We've been talking about this in creativity and innovation. Creativity is thinking of ideas, and we all come up with ideas. To be an entrepreneur, you have to go to the next step beyond creativity of innovation. Innovation is taking those ideas and actually doing something about it to turn it into a product or a service that can be marketed and manufactured and sold to people. So again, dreaming is good. I'm not going to knock dreaming. One of my startup companies, a company called Zero Boundary, we do a lot of online consulting in the biotech field. My partner, Victoria, her title in our company is Chief Dreamer. And she thinks up all these crazy ideas. And my title is Chief Inventor. And she'll come in on a Monday morning and she'll say, I was sitting at the beach drinking a margarita, and I had this really great idea. Now take your team and go make it happen. And so some people are dreamers and come up with ideas, and others are the innovators who take those ideas and turn it into something real, taking a dream and making it realistic, buildable, sellable, marketable, and be able to collect money and make money. Next one. Go ahead, Kel. Think big, start small. Again, that was another one of David's key points. And I've listened to David for a lot of years when he was at the University of California, running our entrepreneurship center. And that was one of the things that got to me is I was always trying to think too big. And some of the things were bigger than I could handle. So I've moved to the direction Dave takes, is basically build your first product, keep it as simple as possible. We call that a minimal viable product. Get it into the market, see if people like it. If they don't, find out why they don't like it, make your changes, and then go to the next step. So next one, Kelly. This is a good graph, especially for technical people. High risk, high return. That means that you got to bet your house, bet your mortgage, bet your family's life savings, bet your pension, and hope for a big payoff. Most of us, we want to minimize the risk to our lives. So a low risk, low return. Again, I encourage a lot of my students when I'm teaching is, and a lot of them are computer science students, is make your first product or service an app. Apps are very inexpensive to build. There's all kinds of tools. You don't need a lot of money. And you find out within hours, maybe days at the most, if your app has any value or people are going to buy it. If it doesn't, you drop it and start another app. So again, for low risk, lower returns, that's a good way to start. And if you get good at it, then you could move to a little bit more and move up the curve, move up the risk curve to a higher risk and get more return. Okay, next one, Kelly. So I'm not going to read these for you, but these are the key competencies for an entrepreneur. One is recognizing opportunity. That I want to talk about that a little bit. There are people that go through life completely oblivious to the world around them. We call those people clueless. Every day we face issues and problems in our lives. An entrepreneur looks at those problems as opportunities, and they make a decision as to whether that opportunity can lead to something worthwhile. Most of us just go through life and with something we're unhappy with or doesn't work well for us, we just ignore it and do the best we can. True entrepreneurs always look at how do I turn a problem into an opportunity and make money at it. So these are some of the key issues. Again, planning, a little bit of planning, and David will be covering the business model canvas, which is a one-page business plan, which has become very popular among venture capitalists and angel financiers. It lets you know within hours if your idea has any business viability. And so it's a key tool for anybody starting a business to see, do we understand the channels of getting our product to the market? Do we know the resources we need? What's the revenue stream? So it's an excellent tool for assessing a business early. Tenacity and perseverance is another one that's very important. Failure is normal in entrepreneurship. My son and I started several companies. Our first two were total failures. And then we went on and had 3 successes in a row, and then another failure, and then 2 more successes. In fact, we're starting our next company very soon. We just sold our company to a large corporation, and we're going to try to start up a new company. But we learned from our failures, and that's the key, is our particular failures were financial. Both my son and I are engineers, and we did not understand the concept of cash flow. And we thought we were being profitable, but we weren't getting cash in fast enough to pay our bills, and we got into trouble. So again, as engineers, we think we know how to solve problems, but we usually have a little bit of a weakness on the business side. So I always recommend that take classes in finance and marketing, learn a little bit about, or partner with somebody with a background in business. So we partner with a couple of MBAs, and they help us with the stuff that we don't know. We can handle the technical issues, the programming issues, but we can't handle the business issues. And we have one more. Hit the button, Kelly. Managing uncertainty. The world is uncertain. It's even more so. Think of all the opportunities that came out of this pandemic, out of COVID. All of these things we're doing online. Zoom went from 6 million subscribers to like 70 million overnight. We should add that to the list of rapid startups. All of the companies that are doing online support and online tools for teaching, online education has boomed everywhere. So again, look at the uncertainties around us, famine, war, pestilence, disease. All of those things could hurt a business or give you more opportunity for a business. So let's go to the next one. Okay, this is again, I mentioned this before. It's all about doing something. I know, and I tried to do this, but even those that are entrepreneurs fail. I saw a new device come out into the market, and just recently in the medical field. And I said to my colleagues at the company I work with, I thought of that about 3 years ago. And my colleague said, yeah, but what did you do about it? And I said, nothing, I forgot completely about it. And somebody came out with that exact same idea, and they're doing pretty well with it. This happens to most of us. We think of things, but we don't do something. The key to making that jump from creativity to innovation to entrepreneurship is to take our ideas and build something, demonstrate it, prototype it, breadboard it, do a computer simulation, and find out if it's a viable potential product. So again, it's a lessons learned for every one of us that has ideas that somebody else thought of the same thing and took it into the market. Next one, Kel. We put in this, we have a lot of students here at the university from Asia, and the Chinese language is very interesting. They combine symbols to mean something. So, but in Chinese, the word opportunity is a combination of symbols for crisis and opportunity, that with amidst crisis, you have opportunity to improve, to make something better. So again, all the people that benefited from the pandemic and made a lot of money, companies like Amazon, I think doubled during the 2.5 years of the shutdown. And many of our department stores that did not adapt are now out of business here in the States. And I'm sure the same is true everywhere else in the world. So next one. So Kelly, you want to talk about the program itself? Or do you want me to cover that?
You can go ahead and cover this part.
Okay. So the way we run this program, and I have for the last few years, is we take your teams from the university will work on problems. You'll agree on some problem that'll become your project, and it's very practical. We will give you the theory in advance, which you could watch online at your leisure, and then we'll be assigning you into teams that will actually work on coming up with new ideas. And we've had many come out of your university. Some were fantastic, and some were a little bit crazy, but they were fun to work on. And so the course will start off with innovation and creativity, where you learn about how do you actually create new ideas? How do you, all the tools for creativity, breadboarding, brainwriting, something called Scamper. There's a whole series of tools that we use to generate creative ideas. And then we go into what is called design thinking and design sprint. Design thinking is it's also called human-centered design. It involves making sure that a potential product is both technically feasible within the current technology or the near-term technology. It has business viability, which means you can make it for less than it costs you to sell it, so you have a profit. And it is attractive to customers. Customers want it. And then we'll take you through what is called design sprints, which was initially invented by a company called IDEO and taken on by Google. And it's a step-by-step methodology taking you from an idea through creativity, through innovation, and to building a breadboard or a prototype or a computer simulation, demonstrating it to people, getting feedback and modifying it. And then for the business side, we'll use the business model canvas to see what is the business viability and marketing innovation, and how do you finance this? We joke here in the United States, initial financing is usually what we call the 3 F's: family, friends, and fools. The fools part, we have some websites where you can go online and you can advertise your potential product, and people will send you money. And most of the time, they don't get any money back. But every once in a while, it's kind of like a virtual Shark Tank, where people get to pitch their ideas and people will send them money. We'll also cover how do you present your ideas to venture capitalists or angel financiers, and how do you make sure they understand and buy into what you're trying to build and sell. And the last thing is something that's really wonderful. It occurs on Wednesdays. It's called 1 million cups. But the theory is it takes 1 million cups of coffee to get through a product into the market. You drink a lot of coffee, staying awake for long nights, and you'll be able to participate online with 1 million cups, and you'll hear people present their ideas to angel financiers and venture capitalists and see what kinds of questions are asked and more about how they will actually decide to fund or not fund your idea. Next one. Hey, Cal, wake up.
I'm here. It's not moving.
Is that the last one?
No. There we go.
Okay. And then
So we actually have two options. Option one is for those folks that want to take the entire program, recorded sessions and live sessions. So if you look at the title, it says Innovative Product Development Program and International Team Project. Marty mentioned you're going to be working in groups. You've got live and recorded sessions every single week. You'll finally present to experts, Marty, David, me, some other folks. And what's really valuable in this is that you'll also work with other students. You'll be working with a few other students from Cal State Dominguez Hills. And there's another young lady that wants to participate in the program too. So it's truly, you'll be working in an international team, getting that feel and flavor. Marty, you've worked with teams across the globe. Can you tell the students what that's like in a workforce, at work?
Well, in the current workforce, we've become a global workforce. Again, part of it driven by the pandemic, where people had to work remotely, and partly driven by the need to access other markets in the world. If you're trying to sell into China or Japan or Brazil, it's good to have members of your team from those places. So most project teams in the world of technology, especially, are virtual, in that you have to work with people that you may not physically ever see, or you don't get to see them every day. And so just doing the project in this format will give you some of the skills necessary to work in a global economy beyond your own, Bogota or your own particular city or region of a city. So again, it's an extra valuable tool that you're going to learn to work in this kind of environment. Every one of my project teams, I have a team working now building a robotic spinal cord surgery system. My software engineers building the machine learning part of it are in Poland. My hardware team is in San Diego. And then I got a team doing system level software in Germany. And we meet every 2 days for an hour in the middle, usually in the middle of the night because of time differences. And we're actually building this product in a virtual environment, and it's ready to come into the market. But again, it's something we learned how to do because of the pandemic. And so, I know it's a terrible thing, but for some of us, it turned out to be a positive thing in that it taught us some skills that we didn't have before.
Paula, do you want to share anything about this?
At the end, I would like to expand the information about three options.
Okay, thank you. Finally, for the entire program, this is 4 weeks long, you earn a certificate of completion and a digital credential or a badge from Cal State Dominguez Hills. Now, our second option, option 2, this is great for those of you that have limited time and really want to learn about the content. You can just do the online asynchronous portion. It's the recorded sessions. You'll take a weekly online quiz. You're learning from Marty and David and some other folks, and you will earn a digital credential or badge from Dominguez Hills. You will still participate in 1 Million Cups. That'll be great. I'll do a leadership session, and that's the one live session, and one more live session is the entrepreneurial ecosystem. So you've got a couple of online sessions, but really primarily this is recorded, and you'll also not just quizzes, but you'll also be working on your own individual project.
Yes, and both David and I are available to you for any help or assistance or any additional questions you might have. So you won't be abandoned to just the online portion.
Thanks, Marty. Now, this is the really exciting part for us, and we hope you really consider this. It's the residential. It's after the 4-week program. The following week is July 17th through the 21st. We have an optional residential where you will come to the United States. You will be in classes at Dominguez Hills. We'll start off, of course, with an orientation and a campus tour. We'll work on individual projects. We've got Marty, the expert in Agile PM. I'll give a lecture in Agile. And we'll start working on your team. Your project that very first day. What's really fun is the next day, which is Tuesday, the 18th, we have Tristan Tucker who will talk about your personal brand and the power of storytelling. And in the afternoon, we have a leadership and personal ethics topic. The focus of the residential really is on you. Yes, we just may have completed a project, a group project, but really you as a leader, you're going to have to really understand who you are, where you're coming from, how are you going to lead in a global environment, and as well, how do you sell yourself, right? You had to pitch your product or your product in a team, but what about you? What is the story behind that makes you a great leader? So what's really exciting in the afternoon on the 18th is that we will be filming you. You'll get a 90-second commercial about yourself, and you'll practice your pitch. What is it that's important to you? You could use this as your online resume. Put it up on, YouTube or wherever you want to put it up on. It's a great tool to market yourself. The next day, the 19th, is the field trip day. We will actually physically be going to 1 million cups. Originally, you'll be going to, during the program, 1 million cups through Zoom while you're there at home, but we'll physically be going to 1 million cups, and you'll be seeing companies, small startups actually pitch. We'll go to the Cove and you'll say, okay, what is the Cove? The Cove is at UC Irvine, and it's really the innovation tech transfer hub of the University of California, Irvine, where researchers and grad students are really taking their ideas and bringing it to market, hopefully bringing it to life. Marty, can you expand a little bit more on the Cove? You're on mute, hon.
Okay. The Cove is basically what we call an incubator. Just like an incubator for premature children, little babies need to be protected and have the right environment so that they can live. Well, a business incubator is the same thing for small businesses. At the Cove, we provide a facility and a space at the University of California for our graduate students and faculty to work on new business ideas. We give them space, computers, we have labs, fab shops, 3D printers. We have a micro center where they can actually build microcircuits, nanocircuits. And it's a safe harbor, which is what a Cove is. It's a safe harbor for a small entrepreneurial startup to be able to, without having to pay rent or any large amounts of money, this is all basically free to our students and faculty, and it helps them get their businesses started well enough that they now can go to someone to get actual financing once it's big enough. But again, it's a safe, protected space.
We'll also head to Mazda USA, and no, it's not a car dealership. Mazda USA is actually the corporate headquarters in Irvine. It's in a beautiful big glass building, and we get to go inside. It's very interesting because before the pandemic, they were really forward thinking. They were actually telling people you don't have to work in the office. They'll give you a laptop. You can work from home. You could come in whenever you want to. You can plug in. You don't have set office space, but it's a great space. You can get coffee and whatever you need, something to eat, and you could just plug in several different floors. It's really quite an amazing, forward-thinking design pre-pandemic. But we've been to Mazda several times, and they're very welcoming. They talk about their marketing. They talk about design, so you'll have the opportunity to go to Mazda USA. It's really a cool place to be. Then we'll come back to Dominguez Hills, and you'll have a little bit of time to work on your project. On the 20th, we have Shelley Wright, who's going to talk about DevOps. And Marty, you know more about DevOps than me, but I took the project management course with her, and she's an excellent instructor. And she says that Marty is her guide, her mentor. So do you want to talk a little bit about DevOps and leading through change? And
Shelley is one of the leading project managers in the area of information technology implementation. DevOps is a methodology that combines use of agile programming methods with implementing large IT solutions. And it's improved the ability to take an IT solution and introduce it into organizations with the least amount of effort and problems. Most IT solutions end up causing more trouble than they solve. And Shelley has been doing this for large IT departments for quite a while now, and she's become pretty much our expert in this. So I handle the agile side, which is building the programming, and Shelley handles the part where you take that programming and actually create an IT solution that you could roll out into an organization and make it work.
she is a great instructor, that's for sure, just like you, Marty. Then we go through leading through change, because again, we talk about leadership and ethics and how we're going to take our organization or even your small department or your project, right? You're constantly going through a phase of change. So we'll talk a little bit about that. You have time to work on your projects. And then the final day, we have our student presentations and sadly, a farewell luncheon. There are some optional evening events, like Paula mentioned, and she loves to go to Griffith Observatory. So depending upon time, we might be taking some additional field trips as well. And in terms of the program itself and pricing, the 3 options that you have, the entire program itself, program option number 1, is $980. Program option number 2 is just the online component, which is $830. The difference, right, is that you don't work on a project with a team. You get a digital badge. And then option number 3 is the residential, and the residential is $1,750. Paula, do you want to jump in here?
Yes, thank you. Well, first, I would like to thank Mari and Kelly for this extremely valuable information and pretty good presentation. So right now I'm going to change to Spanish just to make sure that everyone have the correct information about the prices and about the 3 options that we have this year. Entonces, buenas tardes para todos. La idea es que este año vamos a tener 3 diferentes opciones del curso. En pasadas ocasiones solo teníamos una virtual y una presencial. En este año son 3 para darles pues más opciones a ustedes. La primera es el curso completo, que es virtual. Tiene clases pregrabadas y clases en vivo. En vivo se refiere a vía Zoom, como la que estamos haciendo o teniendo en este momento. Esa tiene un costo, como mencionaba Kelly, de $980. más la porción que se le paga a Uniandes, que es cerca de 1.100.000 pesos, pesos colombianos, claramente. La porción de los $980 se le paga directamente a la Universidad de California vía un link de pago que Kelly nos envía, bien sea con tarjeta crédito o tarjeta débito, como ustedes prefieran. La segunda opción, que es un curso más corto de menos horas, solo va a tener las clases pregrabadas y unas pocas sesiones en vivo o por Zoom. Esa es, digamos, la gran diferencia entre la primera y la segunda opción, pero ambas son completamente virtuales. El gran plus en comparación entre la primera y la segunda opción es que la primera opción ustedes van a tener la oportunidad de trabajar en grupo y recuerden que es un grupo internacional. También tendremos estudiantes de los Estados Unidos y de Brasil, obviamente de Colombia también, entonces eso va a enriquecer mucho pues esta oportunidad. Y adicionalmente, en la opción completa, ustedes reciben un certificado de la Universidad de California, lo cual pesa mucho, dado que tiene un valor grandísimo. Y adicional, el badge o la insignia virtual que ustedes reciben, bien sea en la opción 1 o en la opción 2. La opción 3 es la opción presencial. Recordemos que dura una semana. Este precio no incluye tiquetes ni alojamiento. Sin embargo, nosotros les vamos a hacer el acompañamiento para que ustedes puedan pues encontrar unos tiquetes baratos y también unos descuentos en hoteles o en Airbnb. Igualmente, dependiendo las personas que se enrolen en estos cursos, pues podemos quedarnos todos en un mismo hotel o en un mismo Airbnb, o si alguien quiere ir por aparte, pues por aparte. De igual manera, recordarles que es posible tomar cualquiera de los dos cursos virtuales y el presencial, o sea, no son excluyentes, pueden tomar el curso largo y el presencial, o el corto y el presencial, no habría ningún problema. Ahí en el chat les están colocando el link donde pueden encontrar mayor información. También les dejé mi número personal y también mi correo electrónico, donde pueden pues contactarme y yo les voy a responder cualquier duda. Esto sería todo. Muchas gracias.
And now finally you have our contact information. We're very, very pleased to chat with you. And I know Paula is as well if you have questions. The one thing I do want to say is that I know some of you may be apprehensive to take a course in English and listen and participate in English. But I will tell you, our previous cohorts from Uniandes, everyone's English is very, very good. And we've worked with international students for many, many years. So trust me when I say your English is good and you'll be successful. We don't grade, we don't look at your presentations based upon your English. It's really about participating and learning. That's the most important thing for us. So if you are a little shy and apprehensive, concerned about English, please don't be. We welcome you. This is a very exciting time for you, and it's an exciting time for us. The one quick thing I also wanted to share is Marty and David mentioned think big, start small, and it's very, very true. I started my own consulting business, and it's very difficult, but at the same time, right, I'm taking these little steps. It's those opportunities that I'm grabbing onto, and just, I have an opportunity. Somebody reached out to me on LinkedIn and wanted to hire me to do some consulting. I'm like, this is great. So my business is different because my business is in education. It's not engineering or manufacturing or working on big projects like for project managers. But anyone can be an entrepreneur. You definitely have to take the opportunity and just grab onto it and run with it. So I hope that you do the same with this program. Paula, are there anything questions that we have?
Yes, Kelly, we have one question here, and it says if the option number 2, it's also validate for credits in Uniandes, and the answer is no. The only option that it's valid for credits in Uniandes is option number 1, that is the full program, which costs 90. What was the price, Kelly? $980. Yeah. $980 plus the portion to Uniandes that is 1,100,000 Colombian pesos. Yep. Any other questions? Maybe if you want to expand more about the information, you can send me an email or chat with me through WhatsApp. I can explain everything that you that you want. But regarding the credits, the Uniandes credits, you can take the second option just as a free course, but of course it will not count for credits. I don't know if I was clear.
You were clear, I think.
Okay.
And Paula, what some of them may not know is that not only you're a graduate student, but you also participated in the program. So, and you've been doing this for the past couple of years, so online and face-to-face. So you're very familiar with the program.
Yes, that's right. That's why I can answer all your questions. So please don't hesitate to ask me whatever you want. It doesn't matter if it's from the virtual part or the face-to-face part, but of course I always recommend you to travel, because travel gives you much more opportunities, not just for the course, but to know a different country, to know different people and different culture, and that will give you a lot of opportunities for new knowledge and experiences.
Thank
Okay.
you so much, Paula.
Thank you, Kelly and Mari.
Okay. Good
Do
seeing
we have any
everybody.
other questions? No, I don't think so. Please go ahead, Mari. Sorry.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Thank you, Mari. I'm
Okay.
Kelly.
Gracias a ustedes, que tengan una feliz tarde. Gracias a todos nuestros asistentes y la Facultad de Ingeniería por habilitarnos este espacio. Esperamos que esta actividad haya sido provechosa para ustedes y que nos sigan acompañando en el resto de actividades programadas. A través del chat les compartimos el link para que conozcan estas actividades y pues se puedan también inscribir. Que tengan un feliz resto de tarde y que estén muy bien. Chao.
Gracias. Bye-bye.
Bye, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. See you.